We're going to talk about distance learning and online training on avionics.education.com. Hello everybody, welcome to avionics.education.com. My name is Bruce Bissett. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and punch that notification bell so you can receive updates when I put new videos on the website. But this week we're going to talk about online and distance training. We just finished today my 5th Zoom course since the pandemic began, and this was done to a group of senior students. They decided to go for an online training because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to complete their new hire training. So we were lucky enough to be able to get them in and get them finished. We had a lot of conversation about whether the training was valuable or whether they liked it or not. They enjoyed the training, they said to a person, and they did find it valuable because it is an ends to a means. This is a training that they needed. They understood that the material that they were learning was very important. Platform that I used was the Zoom platform, and I absolutely, I don't love it. I still miss my live classroom, but it's the best solution for training when you want to have something almost live. So a Zoom course is similar to a webinar, or it might even be similar to a live Facebook feed, in that you do interact live with people. But the difference between Zoom and Facebook and YouTube Live is that you can't really quite frankly interact with the students individually. With Zoom, you have the individual faces on the screen, and you can actually see somewhat, albeit two-dimensionally, their reaction. You can see if you've lost them. You can see them if they're paying attention, quite frankly. If I see the side of a head, then I have an idea that they're probably on their phone. Especially since one of them invited me to LinkedIn while class was going on. So kind of a clue that I knew that they weren't exactly paying attention to the material. The beauty of that type of format also is it allowed me as an instructor to immediately ask questions. And I could take polls, I could have a chat. So it was good that we had multiple instructors because we had another instructor that could monitor the chat window while another instructor, works to the camera. And it's okay. It's not as good as live. If we had to have formal training, because I want to talk about what was the best training there is available out there. And in my world, in the world of vocationals would be the title, because I do aviation maintenance training, is the OJT. Having somebody who can mentor you step by step, actually working on the aircraft and following along. And that was really important to me when I worked for the airlines, or when I got into the Air Force for that matter. We had the formal training. It was important to understand the fundamentals. I mean, that's the importance of formal training, to get the fundamentals. But my learning experience really wasn't until I actually had hands-on. And to a person, they all said if they had their choice of taking this class, they would have preferred live in the classroom at the academy and being able to interact with the instructor directly. Or sometimes a few of them would talk about in the critiques that they missed the sidebars that we used to have. Not within the class, but during the breaks, you could come up to the instructor and talk to us. But the other thing we had to point out to them, and this is what I found was interesting, is that they're a different generation. We talked about what is the number one learning tool in the world right now. YouTube and Google. That's where training is coming from. There are a lot of users that are providing material onto YouTube. But the difference is between what I talk about on YouTube and what becomes a formal training program in the eyes of, being able to prove that our technicians are trained and qualified, is that every course needs to have elements planned for it. It needs to have a curriculum. It needs to have stated objectives. It needs to have a scheduled time. And we need to qualify the instructors, because every good class has good material, right? Something that's interesting. And with the world of video, interesting means video production. It's different in video and online training. The PowerPoints need to enhance the story, because now you're speaking two-dimensionally. Now you need to actually excite the senses a little more, and sometimes more motion in the screen, not so much that it becomes distraction, but more motion in the screen, more pictures, more moving, more images and graphics help reinforce what the instructor is saying. So that's moving forward. Again, like I said, old-timers like the live class. Younger students are going to be used to this electronic format. They're going to be able to adapt to the learning style and get what they need out of it. Because I always find out when I drill down and talk to people about, did you learn anything in that course? Or did you learn anything in my course? And of course, some of the more cynical people would say, no, I didn't learn anything. But in real life, you start asking them questions and you found out some inadvertent learning happened. So with that being said, this is the world. This is the future. Talking on the computer, having an instructor on a screen interacting to people through a camera is the way that we're going to be teaching now, which means it needs to be as thought out in a different way than the classroom was. Hey, thanks for spending the time with me. I just want to get a quick video put together for y'all to see on the training. And with that being said, I actually also had some good news in that I just finished my very first online technical training course. The course that I was preparing for is a course to help technicians qualify for those repair stations that do 91 FAR, 91, 411, and 413 transponder certification tests. So I created an FA approved course or approvable course for people's training programs. It was 6 hours long. There's a test at the end, which is something the FA wants, is one of the elements for reinforcing the test. And I just produced it today. And then I'm going to create some more courses based on your feedback, based on what you want. Share it, of course, like it, or comment on it. Same thing with this video. Share it, like it, comment it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what we want to talk about later on. So that's it. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for checking in with me.